Green card warning. New U.S. rules could affect you today. Hey everyone, imagine waking up one morning ready to expand your small business with that SBA loan you've been planning for months, only to discover that as a green card holder, you are now completely shut out from accessing it. Starting March 1st, 2026, this is not some future warning. This is happening right now, and it could derail your American dream in ways you never saw coming. If you are a lawful permanent resident or thinking about becoming one, you need to hear this because these new U.S. rules are reshaping what it means to hold a green card today, and ignoring them could mean lost opportunities, denied applications, or even risks to your status. Stick around because I'm breaking down everything you must know to protect yourself and your family in this video. We're going deep into the latest changes that are hitting green card holders across the United States, from business financing bombshells to stricter travel rules and enhanced vetting that could affect your future plans today. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, I am your trusted immigration expert with years of helping people just like you navigate the complex world of U.S. immigration. And today we are talking about a green card warning that is making waves right now in 2026. These are not rumors or old rules being dusted off. These are fresh policy shifts that are already in effect or rolling out immediately. And they are designed to tighten things up in ways that directly impact everyday green card holders, like small business owners, frequent travelers, and families planning their next steps. I see so many of you in the comments worried about staying compliant while building your lives here in America. And that is exactly why I put this together for you. We are going to cover the most critical updates, what they really mean for you, and most importantly, the practical steps you can take right now to stay ahead of the game. So grab a notebook or open your notes app because this one is packed with actionable advice you won't want to miss. And if you are new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update on rules that could affect your green card status. Let's jump straight into the biggest change that is affecting green card holders as we speak, and this one is massive. The Small Business Administration has rolled out a new policy that took effect on March 1st, 2026, and it basically bars lawful permanent residents from owning any percentage interest in a business that wants to qualify for SBA-backed loans. Before this change, green card holders could sometimes participate in these loans as long as their ownership was limited. But now the rules are crystal clear. Only businesses owned 100% by United States citizens or nationals living in the country can get that financing. If you hold even a single share as a green card holder, your business is out of the running. This is huge for anyone running or planning to start a company because SBA loans have been a lifeline for so many immigrant entrepreneurs. They offer lower interest rates, longer repayment terms, and the kind of support that helps small businesses grow into thriving operations. Think about it. You might be a green card holder who co-owns a restaurant with your spouse, who is a citizen, or perhaps you have a small percentage in a tech startup or a family-run store that was counting on an SBA loan to hire more staff or open a second location. Well, as of right now, that door is slammed shut, and the policy notice from the SBA makes it official. They updated their standard operating procedures and rescinded previous exceptions that allowed any non-citizen ownership. This shift is already causing real headaches for people who had applications in the pipeline or were in the middle of negotiations with lenders. Now, why is this happening right now in 2026? Well, the administration has been emphasizing priorities for United States citizens and nationals when it comes to federal resources. And this is one of the ways they are putting that into practice. But here is the thing: this rule does not take away your green card or your right to own a business. It just limits access to this particular type of government-backed financing. So, if you are in this situation right now, do not panic. There are still paths forward. You can explore traditional bank loans or credit unions that do not have the same citizenship restrictions. Private investors, angel groups, or even crowdfunding platforms can step in as alternatives. Some green card holders are restructuring their ownership to have a citizen partner take full control while you stay involved in operations. But you have to be careful with how you do that, because any appearance of trying to game the system could raise red flags elsewhere in your immigration file. The key takeaway here is to review your business structure immediately. If you rely on SBA financing, talk to a business attorney and an immigration lawyer together to make sure everything stays compliant and protected. I have seen too many clients rush into changes without proper advice and end up with complications down the line. So take your time, get professional guidance, and document every step. Moving on from the business side, let's talk about something that affects nearly every green card holder who travels, and that is the heightened scrutiny at the borders. And during re-entry in 2026, the Customs and Border Protection officers have been given clearer instructions to ask tougher questions and run deeper checks, especially if your trips abroad start looking extended or frequent. Remember the golden rule for maintaining your green card. You must always show that the United States is your permanent home, and that means no trips longer than 6 months unless you have a really good reason, and even then you need to plan carefully. New biometric entry and exit requirements rolled out late last year are now fully in force, which means every time you leave or come back, your fingerprints and other data are being logged and cross-referenced. This is meant to prevent any appearance of abandoning your residency. But it also means one small mistake, like forgetting to report a change in address or having inconsistent travel history, could trigger extra questioning or even a deferred inspection. Let me paint a realistic picture for you. Suppose you are a green card holder who works in a field that requires occasional international travel. Maybe you are in tech or healthcare, and you went back to your home country for a family emergency that stretched into 3 months. When you return, the officer at the airport might ask detailed questions about your ties to the United States, your job, your home, your taxes, and even your future plans. If your answers do not line up perfectly, or if there is any hint that you have been living more abroad than here, you could face delays, or worse, a finding that you abandoned your status. This is not scaremongering. This is the reality of the stricter enforcement we are seeing in 2026, and it ties directly into broader vetting efforts across immigration agencies. The USCIS has stood up a new vetting center that is centralizing background checks, social media reviews, and online presence screening for all sorts of applications, including those from green card holders. This means that when you file for renewal of your green card or apply for naturalization or even just travel, they are digging deeper into your digital footprint, your tax records, your employment history, and any public posts or profiles that might seem inconsistent. One thing I keep stressing to my viewers is the importance of consistency across all your records. If your LinkedIn profile says one thing about your job history and your tax returns, say another, that mismatch could now be flagged by the AI tools that USCIS is using more and more. In 2026, we are hearing reports of cases where minor discrepancies that would have been overlooked before are now leading to requests for evidence or even denials. So the advice here is simple but powerful: audit your online presence today, clean up anything that does not match your official immigration or tax filings, and start keeping a detailed travel log, including dates, reasons for travel, and proof that you always intended to return to the United States. Things like lease agreements, utility bills, and family photos showing your life here can all serve as strong evidence if you ever need to prove your intent. Now let's expand a bit on how these changes connect to employment-based green cards, because if you are waiting for your EB1 or EB2 to come through, or if you already have one, there are modernization efforts underway that could affect processing in the coming months. Draft regulations expected later in 2026 are looking to clarify and tighten standards for extraordinary ability cases and national interest waivers. Applicants will need even stronger evidence of their impact, not just promises of future contributions. This is especially relevant for professionals in STEM fields, healthcare, or innovation, where the bar is being raised to focus on measurable past achievements tied to national priorities like artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, or clean energy. If you are in the middle of an EB2 national interest waiver petition right now, it is worth reviewing your evidence package with fresh eyes because officers are looking for concrete proof, not vague potential. On top of that, we are seeing increased administrative processing times across the board due to these enhanced screenings, and that can feel frustrating when you have been waiting years already. But here is where preparation makes all the difference. Make sure your I-485 adjustment of status filings or any pending petitions are backed by the most up-to-date documents, and consider premium processing where it is available for certain categories. Even though fees have gone up with inflation, the speed it provides can be worth it in uncertain times. And for those of you with conditional green cards, the removal of conditions process is also getting closer scrutiny. So file your I-751 on time and include robust evidence of your bona fide marriage or qualifying investment, because officers are digging into old records more thoroughly during naturalization reviews too. I want to take a moment to share some real-world stories from people I have worked with, because these rules are not abstract. They are affecting lives right now. There is the entrepreneur in California who co-owned a food truck business with his green card and was denied an SBA expansion loan last week, forcing him to pivot to a private lender at higher rates. Then there is the family in Texas where the green card holder travels back to India every year for elderly parents' care and now has to carry extra documentation to prove ties to the United States after a recent border stop that left them shaken for hours. And do not forget the software engineer in New York whose social media post from years ago joking about work-life balance raised a flag during a recent vetting and required him to submit additional explanations. These are not isolated cases. They are patterns we are seeing in 2026, and they highlight why staying informed and proactive is your best defense. So, what should you do today to safeguard your green card status? First and foremost, consult a qualified immigration attorney who stays current on these 2026 updates. Do not rely on general advice from forums or social media, because your situation is unique and one size fits all. Guidance can backfire. Second, keep meticulous records of everything: taxes, travel, employment, family ties, and business activities. Third, if you are affected by the SBA rule, explore alternatives immediately and document your compliance efforts. Fourth, monitor official USCIS and SBA websites regularly, because policies can evolve quickly. And fifth, if you are eligible, consider naturalization sooner rather than later, while your green card is still strong, because citizenship offers the most protection against these shifting rules. We are also seeing ripple effects in other areas, like public charge considerations, where officers have more discretion to look at your overall self-sufficiency and benefit usage, even if you never actually received certain aid. The emphasis is on proving you will not become a burden, and this can influence adjustment of status or future petitions. So if you have any history with public benefits, review it carefully with counsel and gather evidence of your financial independence. Medical exam rules have been updated too, with stricter photo age limits and identity verification to prevent fraud. So make sure your next medical is fresh and compliant. As we wrap up this deep dive, I want you to remember that while these new rules feel challenging, they are also a reminder of how important it is to stay engaged with your immigration journey. The United States is still a land of opportunity for green card holders who play by the rules and plan ahead. You have rights, and there are legal ways to navigate every one of these changes, whether it is restructuring your business, finding new financing options, or strengthening your travel evidence. The key is acting now, not waiting until a problem lands in your lap. If this video opened your eyes or gave you the clarity you needed, please give it a thumbs up and share it with any green card holders or immigrants in your network who might be impacted, because knowledge like this can literally save futures. Drop a comment below and let me know which part hit home for you. Are you dealing with the SBA loan issue, or worried about travel, or maybe something else entirely? I read every single comment. and I try to reply to as many as possible. Also, if there is a specific immigration topic you want me to cover next, like naturalization tips or EB visa strategies, just say the word in the comments and I will make it happen. Thank you so much for watching and for being part of this community that supports each other through these changes. Remember, I am not a lawyer and this is not legal advice, so please consult a professional for your personal case. Stay safe, stay informed, and keep building that life in America you worked so hard to achieve. I will see you in the next video, where we tackle even more of the rules that matter most to you. Take care, and God bless.